Test, test, test.
Okay. Hello.
Oh yeah, we're good. Welcome to the Coven Slumber Party with Ray of Blackheart Arts and Sarah of Calling Corners, where we break down and geek out.
I did
My
geek
Canadian
out.
accent.
Aww. Kevin Smith would love it.
Welcome to the Coven Slumber Party with Ray of Blackheart Arts and Sarah of Calling Corners, where we break down and geek out over the witchy, magical, mystical media of the 80s, 90s, and more, and try and fill that video store-shaped holes in our hearts. I'm Sarah.
I am Ray.
I said it like a question mark last time. I'm realizing in the editing, I was like, is that who I am?
I feel like you do definitely have that moment of like a twitch because you're still like, I'm calling corners. You're like,
Yeah. It catches me up every time because I'm like, it doesn't exist now.
Formerly of Calling Corners fame.
Formerly of Calling Corners fame.
Yeah.
And welcome to episode 21 of the podcast.
Oh, wow. Look at us go.
Look at us
Look
go.
At us trucking on.
I know.
Side note, that's how great the pink is.
That is, yeah, that's going to take like 40 coats.
Yeah.
But it's such a cute color in the
That's a pink
jar.
lady pink.
Yeah, that is definitely pink lady pink.
Yeah. I'm glad I got the red.
Well, there's a lot of red and pink going on in the film. I like that color combo, red and pink. I think it's really cute and really beautiful.
Big fan. Big.
Yeah. They used it in some of the advertising media for Scary Stories. Do you remember when they adapted the Scary Stories into a movie?
Not that long ago,
Not that
right?
long ago.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, it was good. And also, I love the poster. It was just like so cute and beautiful and spoke to my heart. And that
now you say that, it kind of was set up for a sequel.
it was, and then it just never happened, which is sad because it ends. Spoilers. It ends with it ends with their friend being trapped in the Scary Stories world or whatever, and they're just like, oh well.
Yeah, just bye.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. They totally set it up for a sequel, and then they were just like, nah.
Is that the poster?
That is the poster.
That's some sexy shit right
That is
there.
such a gorgeous poster.
Yes,
Yeah.
that color combo.
Yeah, the pink and the red. And the scene where she's in the bathroom with the spiders in her face.
So gross.
Yeah. It's delightful, though.
Also, I remember she was very delicate about it. She
Yes.
was like, oh. And I know that's probably like for editing and CG and effects and stuff. But like, me personally, pretty sure I'd be like draining that bitch off my face. Just like.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Get it the fuck out.
Be like, what do I have in my purse that could be a tool to jab this thing?
Slash.
Totally.
Okay, cool. Here's a segue. Did you know that there was a Grease 3 written?
I thought I heard that.
Yeah.
But it like got scrapped, didn't it?
Yes, because Grease 2 performed so poorly. Grease 3 script was written, ready to go. Apparently it was planned to be 4 movies and then a TV show.
Right.
And Grease 2 tanked, so Disney kept the screenplay and used it for a High School Musical.
Are you serious?
Apparently, that is what internet research has taught me. I've never seen it, so I don't.
High School Musical?
Yeah.
I've seen clips of it on TV or like on YouTube videos, but I've never like sat down and watched it. But I do know that it is similar and that it's high school.
Probably adapted a lot because like if like sexual content and just ooga was keeping on the trajectory, like that's almost like NC-17 by Grease 3 compared to 1. Was wild.
It's very oversexed. I mean, like in a great way, in a kitschy way.
Fabulous.
It's totally fabulous, but definitely a departure from Grease 1. It's actually funny. I found this article. Maybe you found it too. EW.com. It's a Grease 2 an oral history.
Oh no, go.
And the guy who plays Johnny wrote that a lot of them were actually hooking up because they were super horny, particularly after reproduction songs.
Oh my god. Where they're just thrusting in the air. That is, okay, continue. Yeah.
I just thought that was funny because there's like, they took it up to 11 for Grease 2 for the sexy
but for
sexualness.
Like everything, it comes out punching. 20 seconds in, not even, let's say 10 seconds, they go to raise the flag and it's like bombastic number with the same energy that ended Grease. And it stays that way the entirety of the film. Like there's no chill.
No.
There's no chill.
There's really not.
Actually, no, there is one chill, and I always forget about it because it's not my favorite. It's like when Michael's singing all sad and alone in the cafeteria about his charades.
Oh my gosh, that's such a boring song.
It is.
It's probably there's two boring songs in this. There's that one, and then the like heaven biker song.
Oh, when he's dead.
When he's dead.
Yeah, but the imagery was deadly.
Visually, it was great.
Visually.
The song, not so much.
Okay, overall, okay. What was your favorite song then?
Cool Rider.
Okay. You look at me like I'm stupid.
Is there another answer to that
Come
question?
on. No, that's true. Yeah, mine's probably that too. But the amount of times lately that I've been singing the Let's Score song,
Yes.
it's large.
It is definitely right. Okay, my first favorite song is Cool Rider / Score Tonight.
Okay. Because I was even singing it to everybody today. We went tobogganing, and I was like, let's go, let's go, let's. And I was like, do not sing the rest of that to your son. Stop.
It is so good. It is so good.
It's so fucking this movie.
This Slumber Party, we're talking about the movie Grease 2 from
1982.
1982.
Yeah.
This is a banger.
It is. I was going to be like, everybody I talk to prefers Grease 2. To like almost try to give you the impression I know a lot of people. I talk to two people. They like Grease 2.
Same.
Yeah, okay. Which is weird.
Yeah.
Because it did so bad.
I thought when I did the bit of research for this going in, because like of course I had the passion in my heart for it that I gained as a child seeing it, but when I went to look at information about it, more people disliked it than even like still, than I was anticipating, because I was like, oh, this is clearly a gem. What?
It's definitely it's a very specific beast. And if you're a specific type of movie person, this would be the type of thing that would just make your head explode. I can understand that. But at the same time, it's so fucking stupid and lovely.
It is so lovely.
Okay, I don't want anyone to think that it's rude, but this is a fucking stupid movie. But that's what makes it great.
That is what makes it so good.
Yes.
So good.
Like, I love B movies that are stupid. Stupid movies
Same.
are usually my favorite movies.
Oh, me too. It just tastes like candy.
It is very clearly directed by a choreographer. Very fucking clearly directed by her. It's just music video after music video after music video.
Can I tell you something?
Yes,
considering
please.
music video after music video after
Yes.
music video. In my research for this, you might have found this out.
Please tell me.
Okay. In my research for this, I found something called Down Falls High. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's Machine Gun Kelly
Okay.
and Maud Sun, who made this like movie. I'm being generous calling it a movie.
Okay.
Which is essentially like a theatrical version of his punk album, Tickets to My Downfall. Which,
okay, cute.
to be fair, I kind of did like that album when I first heard it. I was like, oh, this might be actually his groove. Like it sounds like a really tight Blink from back in the day.
Sure.
Not as good, but like, you know, Travis Barker's there, you know.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, this is pretty
Sure.
Anyway, so he made this movie.
Yeah.
Which is just like, again, like I said, music. It's like a thin plot in between like what is essentially music videos for his album, but he says it was based on Grease 2, so I had to watch it. I'm really not sure how.
How it's based on Grease 2 or how you watched it?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's basically just like this punk kid and people bully him. He falls in love with a popular girl and then she dies in a car crash and she wanted him to start a band. So he starts a band and it gets super popular.
None of that is in Grease 2.
Right?
Sorry.
And meanwhile, Machine Gun Kelly is playing all his songs from that album. And Sydney Sweeney is the girl in it, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was not super good, but it was fine. But I was just like, Grease 2, what? And so I looked up more about it, and he did an interview on NME.com, and he said, this is just a quote from the article. Speaking to NME in a Big Read cover feature last year, Kelly called the musical a pop punk Grease, and explained it emerged from a running joke he had with his collaborator Maud Sun, where they make excuses to leave situations by saying they need to go and watch Grease 2.
Okay.
Which I can relate to that so hard. Because I feel like we would do that.
Can I do that in my life now?
Right?
I think I can. I can do that.
Right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Best excuse
I'm
ever.
gonna try. Honestly, that's gonna be. I am gonna try in the next like month to do that to someone.
Right?
I love that.
And it's a legitimate thing to do because it's obviously the more fun out of most things you're probably involved like doing, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, say you're in a work setting, you're like, of course I'd rather be watching Grease 2. Socializing, of course I'd rather be watching Grease 2. So say what you will about MGK and whatever, but that is a great excuse.
How do you rank the T-Birds? If you were a pink lady, who would you go for?
I don't know if I'd go for them or if I would just be them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because we used to do this
Yep.
thing, and I'm sure we brought this up on the podcast before, where we would go to the corn maze and pretend we were characters from made-up movies, like
Yes.
tropes.
I'm trying to remember. You were Brandon. Was I Kyle?
I was Kyle. You were Brandon.
I was Brandon.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Brandon was the cool one, and Kyle was like the nerd, and that was super fun. So sometimes I'm like, do I want to be them, or would that be my like movie boyfriend or whatever? But yeah, for the T-Birds in this, I liked best. I don't know. It's hard to say. Which one are you like?
I think if I had to, I'd go with Danny, like the short one that wore Hawaiian
That's the one I was gonna say
shirts.
that I would be. I would
Yeah.
be him.
Yeah.
That's the one I would want to be.
Yes. And he would be the only one I'd hang out with if I was a pink lady. If I was a pink lady and I had to, if I was into dudes and I only had them, I would date none of them.
Yeah, because it's the rule in the.
The second one, for some reason.
Yeah, they can only date. T-Birds and pink ladies can only date each other.
Yeah.
They cannot date outside
Which
of this.
seems like incestuous after like 5 minutes in high school.
Totally, because you're going to date each other's exes all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
And
it's
how's
super
that going to
weird.
be cool?
It does drive a lot of the plot.
Yeah.
Like the reason there's so much conflict is because it's kind of Romeo and Juliet-esque in that way, I guess.
It's really weird. Like,
Yeah.
And also there's motorcycles now.
They had motorcycles before. No, they didn't.
No,
they had
didn't.
the car.
They had cars. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, it's just like, no, we're a motorcycle gang. It's like, okay.
Okay, can I ask a question? Okay, so speaking of the motorcycle gang, the rival motorcycle gang,
Yeah.
can we talk about them for a second?
Yeah, Crater Face, absolutely.
Yes, thank you. I read this article, EW article, and it's apparently the rival gang were called the Cycle Lords. Is that ever mentioned? Is that ever brought up? Like, how do we know that? Is that on their jackets? Did I miss
we
that?
know that. Ew, I don't like that.
And also, why are these like 40-year-old cycle lords picking on
Thank
high
you.
school motorcycle kids? Like,
Okay, first of all, Crater Face was like 42 years ago. The timeline, I'm pretty sure, from Grease to Grease 2 is like 2 years.
it is, yeah.
So this old man is just creeping and bugging teenagers and just being like, oh, you got bikes now? I got bikes.
Yeah.
Now we got bikes. Shows up at school in the track and field. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You don't have a job? You don't have anything to do?
None of you do because you're
None
all
of
there.
you?
Your whole gang, the whole
What?
Cycle Lords is there.
Cycle Lords.
Yeah.
That, I don't like that name.
I don't either. And I'm not even sure. Like, I didn't hear it. But I just had read in the
It
article.
makes me think about like menstrual cycles, which I feel like if I was a cycle lord, that would make me feel great.
Yeah.
But for them, I don't think it's the right direction.
No.
For a 40-year-old
I just-
deadbeat biker gang.
Right? I just don't think you can call your... Yeah. Anything with lords in it when you're chasing, like, high school kids to beat up seems just a little self-aggrandizing. I don't know.
Everything about that as like a plot point was hilariously like thin to me. They just show up at school. They show up at the bowling alley. Michael just drives around them a little bit and they're like, what? They fall in the pool and then that's it.
Oh, yeah. They sabotage the graduation.
Two of them fall into the pool of tranquility or whatever it was called. Crater Face gets off his bike and he's like, what's wrong with you guys? And then that's it. That's it. It's like they're still there in the space, pissed.
At the graduation
Yes.
party.
In wet leather. Really embarrassed probably because they're, let's be real, probably like 32 years old, being like, grr,
Yeah.
teenage boy,
Yeah.
bested me.
Yes. It was very topical. There was not a lot of depth. But that said, it was so fun and such a good ride. And basically the plot is essentially just like the opposite of Grease 1 in terms of, like, aside from like the rule that they can't date anyone outside of their clique, it's basically just like we're following Stephanie, played by Michelle Pfeiffer. Stephanie Zanoni, and she doesn't want to change. She doesn't change herself. She's just purely herself, and the dude changes for her instead of the other way around, which it was in the first one.
Here's one thing that I don't like about all of these people that seem very critical of Grease, where they're like, Sandy changed everything about herself for him.
Right.
Terrible message. I'm like, did anyone else watch the movie? Because I'm pretty sure Danny Zuko lettered in track. He spent an entire fucking year doing jock shit that was completely opposite to everything he was doing as a T-Bird. He did the exact same fucking thing, but for a longer period of time with more commitment. Sandy just got dressed up that day.
That's a really good point. I didn't remember about him being a jock, but that's totally a plot point in the movie. Yes.
He goes to try a bunch of sports and he just ends up punching people. And Sid Caesar's like, go long distance running, cross country running. So it's like, it's just confusing to me because I'm just like, guys, that is a thing that happens, but also he does that for her on a much grander, truer scale.
And you could look at it in a way too, like, I mean, I don't know how much depth you want to put into either of these.
All of it.
Throw it in. Dive deeper.
More.
You could also look at it like they were trying to compromise with one another and see each other's sides.
In the middle.
Yeah. So that's totally an angle you could look at it too. Mm-hmm. And I kind of do feel like as much as Michael has a song about changing, and it does seem like he just has this other portion of his personality. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't ever really feel, even when he, like, sings it, it doesn't really feel like he's, like, just trying to be somebody he's not.
Yeah.
It seems like he's just, like,
I'm just
discovering more.
Yeah.
I guess. Because also, he practices, like, twice. Although, before he's, like, amazing at motorcycle riding.
And he's comfortable with Michelle Pfeiffer just like Spider-Manning all over him while he's riding.
And jumping over cars and shit. He's like,
and over Dead Man's Curve.
Yes. Yeah. To be fair, though, the timeline of this movie confused me, which I did not realize it was a full year that was supposed.
It was a full year.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't realize that any other time I watched the movie. We start when they have day one of school and we leave when they graduate.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same as Grease. It's the same thing.
Oh, I guess they did that too. It's been longer since I've seen Grease, but I never cared. Like, I always care to watch Grease. I'd rather watch Grease 2 any day of the week.
Yeah. Michelle Pfeiffer is the leader of the Pink Ladies. It's kind of alluded to at the beginning.
Yes.
Her name is Stephanie. Even though she does not drive in the fucking car with them.
Yeah, she takes the school bus.
The bus.
Yeah.
Like a schlumpy dumpy. What?
Not the leader.
Like, what even is schlumpy dumpy?
But then
what
later
just happened in my mouth.
But then later she has the pink car.
Yes. How? Why? Thank you for that, because I was like, after she has her study date with Michael, she gets in the car.
Yeah, the continuity is a little weird.
It doesn't matter. Like, it is directed by a choreographer, and I think she was just like, look good.
Look, I love every second of this
Make
thing.
it look good. Lorna Luft played Paulette, who was like...
I loved Paulette.
Who is a fucking Judy Garland's daughter.
Yes.
Didn't know
Wild.
that.
Neither did I.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wild.
Apparently she was one of the best singers. Shocker.
Yeah. Wild. But she kind of plays Johnny's other love interest.
So that was interesting to me, but because, like, I think we're overthinking this movie a lot, but...
By what? Just even the thought of having a podcast about it? What are you talking about?
Just this part in particular, going back to what we were saying before about, like, the rule being they can only date each other.
Yeah.
So eventually, if people break up and get together, it's going to be each other's partners. So I'm like, are they implying that it's kind of normal because Stephanie and Johnny break up and then Paulette and Johnny get together, and it's like Stephanie doesn't really care at all.
She does not care at fucking all.
There's not a conversation where they're like, hey, is this cool? They're just like, they don't talk about it. She doesn't care. No one cares. It's just like, I think Johnny still likes
still likes her, and that's why Paulette is like, pick a lane, brother.
Yeah. In the oral history article, I think it was the EW article, it was like they interviewed a lot of the cast. Lorna Luft in that article said that she, in the bowling scene, you know how she has her long fingernails and gold pants, so she bowls like between her legs.
Yeah.
Apparently she actually got that strike.
Aww.
So I thought that was cute.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Paulette.
Yeah, I like Paulette a lot. The theme in the articles I was seeing with Paulette's character in particular, I guess the idea was that she only dressed up like that at school and was kind of different at home. I never got that.
No.
It just seemed like her full character to me. So if that was the intention, I feel like it wasn't executed.
She very much gave me Marty vibes from the first one, where she was just like, I'm a virgin, but I'm dripping in sex.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And also I thought was cool was Dolores and her are sisters.
Yes.
Which They do say eventually, but I was like, are they sisters? Because Paulette treats her like
terribly. Yeah. And there actually was, I guess, like a scene Dolores was in talking about boobs and being a pink lady and stuff. But that's why when she's at the bowling alley, she's like, my bra hurts. There was like a whole scene
when it got cut out
about that. Yeah.
Because she does say something, my bra, she says something in her, and Paulette's like, oh, shut up, or like annoyed, extremely annoyed about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was intense for a reaction to that. And I was like, they must be sisters. Yeah. And then soon after that, she says that they're sisters. I quite loved that character too, Dolores. She was awesome.
Yeah.
She's skateboarded, which I guess she did skateboard in real life.
Oh, cute.
So, and I think she was 14 at the time, so she didn't, like, she enjoyed her experience, but like, she was a minor, so there's different rules on set for that.
There's like just a little bit more of a cocaine sprinkle on Grease too. You know, it's starting to get into the 80s. Things are just like that Michelle Pfeiffer scene on the bike when she's with the cool rider.
Yes.
And they go off from the gas station.
Cycle into the distance.
She's on the back and then gets to the front and then puts her legs out and all this stuff. She did that for real, like with a stuntman. Like, no net, just doing it. That wouldn't be a thing that would happen now.
Absolutely not.
Especially, like, was Michelle Pfeiffer's first movie. Her beautiful face first movie. What if you fucking ruined her?
I know. She said,
ruined Catwoman.
Yeah, it was a different time for sure. At least in terms of roles like that. I mean, now there's, like, intimacy coordinators and stuff, too. Like, you know, it's much different.
Honestly, this sounds bad. I don't really care much for, like, the other pink ladies.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, they were very one-dimensional. I mean,
they filled up the car.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And they had some, you know, things that they did that kind of pushed the plot a little bit. Like one of them, Sharon, she was pushing the talent show because they were all in the talent show.
All right. Would you have been pissed? I was under the impression that she put on that whole number. Sharon wrote that song, did all because she was like, we haven't even done.
Yes.
I got the impression that was her.
Yeah, her baby. Yeah.
And then Stephanie wins at the end?
Yeah, because she hijacked it into that other song.
I'd be pissed.
Oh my God, yeah. Totally.
I'd be like, you know what, Stephanie? Go fuck yourself and your cool rider. Like,
see, this number, like, okay, what was it? Girl for All Seasons. They were performing at the talent show.
Yep. Also, I have all the outfits.
Ooh.
Because it started with February.
Oh, you found them?
Because that is her body to make up the face of some president I do not know, Georgie.
Yep.
Let's go with that.
That one was,
and she was just like undulating. Is that the correct term for a body?
I found that really abstract and confusing. It took me so long when it was on screen to realize she was dressed as a dime or whatever.
And what is the hat? What is the February? January? Okay, you're a champagne glass. Got it. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. New Year, celebrate. February, a coin with a old. Wait, is Washington Day in February?
Oh, I bet. Let's look it up.
I'm gonna feel like a real dummy.
Why? We're not Americans yet.
That's true. No, don't joke too real.
National Washington Day is May 10th, apparently.
When's Washington's birthday? It's given because now I'm seeing like the boots. It's given like a lot of Washington vibes. Old-timey president vibes.
Washington's birthday. Okay. You're right.
Okay.
February 17th.
We're going to go with that then.
That's what that educational, too.
Now, yeah, that I now learned. March, St. Patrick's Day. April makes sense. Rabbit. Sure. Easter.
I don't even remember seeing Easter.
These outfits are so insane.
That's a maypole. Okay, yeah. Interesting.
And then all of a sudden, Paulette for June is wearing just basically a corset.
Yeah.
But these people are dressed, they're so unflattering. I know. Do you know what and like so much effort to make it unflattering.
Yeah.
July is a girl covered in, I'm going to say fireworks and not explosives. But it does look a little TNT.
It does look like TNT, but yeah, fireworks.
August is a girl with a huge fucking baseball mitt on her head.
Is that baseball season?
Sure.
Sports. I don't know.
September they went out of their way to make her so wildly unattractive in this outfit. I love it. Oh, September's just like a sad tree. October is a skeleton wrapped in something with a jack-o'-lantern head.
I mean, it's a vibe. It's Halloween-y, I guess.
It's all of the Halloween put on one body.
It kind of looks like folk horror.
yeah.
Honestly.
November is a pilgrim, and then you got beautiful Stephanie is December, which honestly I do think I'm gonna try to make that outfit for Christmas this year.
Okay, I know that's super cheesy and terrible, but I also think she looks like a total babe in that outfit.
Well, it's Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
So let's be real. You put her in anything, she's going to look great.
Clearly, even dressed like a Christmas tree. Yeah, if I were Sharon, I would lose my mind because just even doing those costumes is insane. And they had like doors that they opened. And
and also here's the thing. I'm just going to say it. The T-Birds are a joke in Grease too. And I love it, and it's fine.
Oh, yes.
But they're fucking jokes.
100%.
Do you think you'd see Danny Zuko or Kaneki up here pretending to be like calendar boys?
Absolutely not.
Fucking giving out props?
No.
He's wearing a little hat with flowers on it. Denied. No. No.
Oh, I found this article right off the jump when I was like doing my initial research on this, a Medium article by this person. I'm trying to see if I can find their name. The Failure of Grease 2 by E.C. Santini, just from February 4th, 2023. It was interesting because that's the very first thing I found on it. And it was like this piece about why it failed as a musical. And it actually was talking about that diegetic stuff that I was talking about in the last episode. They were saying it's like confusing. Like, okay, this is the quote from the article. It seems difficult to get the boundary between diegetic and non-diegetic wrong if it exists on a spectrum. But there are still conventions. And where Grease 2 failed was in flouting these conventions without reason. By the time the main cast of Grease stops singing We Go Together, and by the time the disembodied male voice is introduced, the chorus has already become so large that these unrealistic, non-diegetic elements do not shock the audience or come across wrong. We are eased into this unreality. Even at the beginning of this song, we are more able to accept the large chorus of people by first hearing one key character burst into song, then his friends join in, and finally the rest of the student body. Grease 2
It's true.
is far less concerned with following these rules, and as a result, many of their musical numbers are extremely jarring because the diegetic status is changed very suddenly, breaking the audience's suspension of disbelief. Sure.
Totally.
But does anyone care?
I know people do. People do. I do not. People do.
Okay, and to be fair, like this was really thoughtful and well written, and I totally get it.
Fuck you.
And I had it in my mind when I was watching, but as I was watching too, I was like, the energy's too, like they were going off energy. They weren't going off like what made the most sense.
Oh, clearly. Clearly they did not think about that.
And the energy is so true and has so much heart. I don't care if you can't tell.
That reproduction scene?
Yes.
Is ridiculous.
It is.
If you look at what everyone's doing at any given time, like each table has like different moves that they're doing and different timing of their moves. And
Yeah.
but that's why it's like kind of great that the person that was in charge of it was who they were. So they were just like, I do feel like it was really, really focused on form and not substance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really wanted it to look a certain way.
I think it was that same article that brings up like Cool Rider, how like it doesn't make sense because she's like dancing away. The idea was like
when she just straight up just dances like away into a field.
Yeah.
L.
Yes.
I there's something about that part of me is just like, what the fuck? And another part is like, absolutely.
And that's the beauty of this movie.
Yeah.
Is that there's a part of you that's like, absolutely.
Yes.
And that's why I don't think this matters. You know what I mean? And the thing too is, for all its criticisms, the people that were making this loved it. And like, I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer has embarrassing moments that she says are cringy or whatever, sure, but there's a part, where was it? I think this was again the oral history article, the EW.com one. Oh, here, Con, whose last name was Con. That was the girl that played.
Did he Con
Frenchie, yeah. She says Pat Birch picked dancers that looked like regular kids, but they were phenomenal dancers, and each one had written an autobiography of their character. She's talking specifically, I think, about the back to school,
the gang,
like all of the kids going into the school. Finishing the quote, they all had names and they all had relationships with their partners, and it's reflected in the choices they made during the dances. So like everyone, like it was meaningful. And like the guy who plays Johnny, what's his name again?
I hate him. Sorry.
Oh, I think he did such a great job though.
I just don't like his hair to head ratio.
Adrian Zemed? Is that how you say it?
Sure. I believe you.
He played Danny on
Broadway?
Broadway.
Yeah.
And I think also Maxwell Caulfield, who played Michael, the cool writer, and nerdy British new student at Rydell High, who was Rex Manning.
Yeah. The thing is, okay, apparently I read some quotes and stuff. Apparently he says that Grease 2 tanked his career. Up until this point, he was being touted as the next Richard Gere. And then he did Grease 2 and no one would touch him for 10 years. And I'm like, okay, but this was Michelle Pfeiffer's first movie, and look at her.
That is a great point.
I'm going to just say he's a very handsome man. He can act. I guess I'll just say he is British, and I did not believe that he was British. I was like, is he putting an accent on?
Is he actually British?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like maybe there's something there that's not just Grease 2 that was like stopping this.
Yeah. Look, the thing is, yes, Grease 2 probably was a bit of a setback when it first came out and was panned.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a cult following now, for sure. We are part of the cult. But you're right. Michelle Pfeiffer went on to have, like, she did Scarface right after this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I know he had mentioned somewhere in a video, I think it was, where that was really tough for him to deal with her success. And I feel I would feel that exact same way. My personality is very much the same. Also, that character, Michael, I think we should note, was basically the tie-in was he was Sandy's cousin.
And for some reason, Frenchie was like, oh, I'm also going back to school because I need chemistry to be...
Oh, mix my own
nail
cosmetics?
Or
yeah.
Cosmetics or something?
Yeah.
The choices of this movie. Back to school. First day of school, they have the big production to get into class. They're in class. There's like cuts to a couple of scenes of Frenchie in said chemistry class making giant plumes of smoke and like crazy stuff. And if you think about it, you're like, you've been in class for like 2 to 5 minutes.
I know, your first
and you're
day.
already fucking shit up. Like, that's the type of movie where it is, where it's just like time doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Most things don't matter.
Frenchie was supposed to have a musical number, or what did she say about that? Yeah, this was in the oral history too. She says, what was the real carrot that they hung in front of me was that I would have my own number in Grease too, like I had in Grease with Beauty School Dropout.
Yeah.
We filmed this wonderful number where I teach Maxwell how to be a cool rider.
What?
She says, I was all over the picnic table and showing him all these cool moves. I never saw it, never heard anything about it to this day. I don't even know if there was film in the camera.
No!
That's so
I
sad.
just went on YouTube to look it up.
Yeah. That's really sad. Yeah, that hurt my heart a little bit when I read that.
My gosh, that'd be so sad and mean if there was no film in that camera.
Also, I think this might have got said somewhere and I just missed it, but Stephanie is very clearly supposed to be Debbie Harry in terms of like Blondie, right?
Okay.
Like that's the whole vibe. That's
Debbie Harry was initially asked to play Stephanie.
What?
She passed.
What?
And when I wrote that down, 2 days ago, I have a little asterisk. Okay, as I'm writing this, I'm watching the pilot of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, where she goes to the Witches' Council to turn back time, and Debbie Harry is sitting right there. So I was writing that down, and I looked up, and I was like, that's Debbie Harry. It was a very good moment for me.
I love that.
And you are absolutely right.
So serendipitous. But also,
Love
yes, very Debbie Harry.
Oh, yeah. Also, Johnny was originally intended to be Danny Zuko's cousin. But Michael was also Sandy's cousin, so they eliminated a couple of the connections.
Not everyone has to be cousins.
This is too much.
Too many cousins.
It's like, could it just be the same high school in the same town? And these people did, in theory, go to school with these other people. The T-Birds. Is that not enough of a through line? The T-Birds and the Pink Ladies?
Okay.
That should be fine.
Can I ask this? And also, again, this might be overthinking it.
No.
So Frenchie was a Pink Lady.
Yes.
So how come in this movie, what happens 2 years after, the Pink Ladies don't really associate with her really at all? There's one scene where they talk, and there's one scene where she mentions that Stephanie Zuko's like her... Stephanie Zuko. Yeah. Stephanie Zanoni is like her best friend.
Yes.
They never talk. Like they...
No.
And they have a scene together where they're all in chemistry.
Yes.
And it's very evident that they're not best friends.
Yes.
What?
Uh-huh.
Why wouldn't the Pink Ladies...
This is where I'm like, nothing matters.
Yeah.
Right? They're just like, this sounds like a great scene. How do we get to there? Well, that person can do this. Great. Is it something that person would ever do? No, but it gets us to the result that we want.
Yeah.
You go, great.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, also, you're just a pink lady forever?
You'd be an alumni of some kind.
So it's like you keep your jacket?
I would feel like yes.
Okay, because Frenchie was wearing her jacket, and I was just like, is that okay? Is that a thing you do?
But in which case, well, it's very weird that they're not speaking to her in terms of being in the same group.
Yeah. Also, it's just like, where's Marty? Where's Jan?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, see, it's just choices like that where you're like, I'm going to just acknowledge 25% of what happened in the last movie.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But to me, this is more canon. I love this movie. And I don't care.
I really appreciate that. We haven't like actually talked about the movie plot.
So how would you explain the plot? Do you have any plot summaries here? Like if you haven't, if somebody's listening right now and they haven't seen this movie before, which is a crime.
A British student at a 1960s American high school must prove himself to the leader of a girls' gang whose members can only date greasers.
And that's IMDb?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically it.
I like did not fucking care. IMDb. It was like one sentence.
Yeah, it's just basically pink ladies. Did you like the pink ladies and the T-Birds from Greece? They're in it again.
Yeah. Maybe I just wrote it once, but I felt it more than once. This movie has no chill.
No.
No chill.
No.
Like the choice to have a bunch of nuns bowling with them. Like, let's say it's a Friday night. Let's go fucking bowling. And the nuns are like, you know what, brother? We're right there with you.
Right? I love that you brought this up.
What?
Yes. So they take bowling so seriously.
So serious.
Like during the like standoff with the, what did I call them?
The
cycle lords.
Yep. Yeah.
They were like talking. I feel like they were talking about potentially fighting, and then they were like, "We can't. We're gonna bowl."
Oh yeah, no. Michael came in, and he was like, "Zip, zip, 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 zip."
Going back to the bowling alley scene though, because it is one of the best. Did that remind you? Like, okay, first of all, I had a question for anyone listening to this / you, Ray. Also,
yeah.
Obviously,
I have such a hard time ever acknowledging humans could listen to this.
I'm just so curious for this, but it just. Does places like did people care about bowling this? Like, did young people care about bowling this much? Like, was this like a serious?
I'm gonna say yeah.
And if so, what was comparable for that for us at our age range? Roller rinks?
Maybe.
Because
That's
it's like
pretty fair. I feel like that is fair.
Arcades, I guess. Well, they were usually dual. Like, if you had a roller rink, you had an arcade by default. I was in elementary school, I guess, when roller rinks were around still.
It makes me sad that they're like such rare beasts.
They are rare beasts. It's like the same as like a video store, really, at this point. But at the time, it was so like modern and fun and like interesting and such a like kind of like going back to the bronze like / the nightclub vibe for like minors. It's like the roller rink is like was that could be that. Same with arcades, I think too.
See, but this is where I'm like, it's a biker gang. Don't you have other shit to do than bowl so regularly? You guys bowl like weekly.
Yeah. Well, for the high school kids, like that's fine. But the actual biker gang, do they bowl or do they just go hang out there and like
torment?
What do they do for a living? Like, do they have families? I don't know.
I don't know. See, none of it matters. We're overthinking it because none of that fucking matters.
This is like, I think this is like, there's a game. What is it? There's a game, and I'm pretty sure it's the Warriors. Yes, I think so. The video game. Okay, the Warriors video game, like based on the movie. And there's a part in it where your job is to like go and guard the train yard. And I just keep thinking about it like in terms of if Justin went to you and was like, I'm not going to do my work. That pays me money. I'm going to go and guard the train yard from like rivals. I just feel like, what?
I'd be like, you good? You okay?
Right?
You go talk to somebody?
Oh my God.
What are you, 12?
I don't remember why. Oh yeah, because of the biker gang. It's like, what do you do with your time?
It's like, okay, so here's the thing that's come up a couple of ways in my real life where people are like, don't be a rat. Don't be a rat.
Okay.
Just about random things in life. So if somebody's being a piece of shit and you're calling them out for being a piece of shit, they're like, don't be a rat. I have such a hard time trying to understand that person and where they're coming from, because I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm gonna rat you out to who? We're not in junior high.
That's fair.
What the fuck are you talking about, grown ass man?
Those are the people guarding the train yards from rivals. Did you know Cool Rider was a play as well?
What?
Yeah, a 2014 play.
I was gonna go, tell me more, tell me more.
Love it.
All right.
Oh,
But anyway,
man.
go ahead.
Yeah, it was a 2014 play called Cool Rider. It was a one-night performance in Westminster, London.
One night. Okay, great.
Yeah, at the Lyric Theatre. But that inspired a week-long run at a different theatre, also in London. So April 15th to the 19th in 2024. Or 2020.
2020.
I'm dreaming. 2014.
Huh.
On playbill.com, it says it was originally billed in publicity materials as Grease 2 and described as being based on the cult 1982 film with the same name that starred Michelle Pfeiffer and Maxwell Caulfield. Grease 2 is no longer mentioned, but clearly referenced. So yeah, they changed it to Cool Rider, which, to be fair, is a really rad name for a play.
Yeah. I'd go see that.
Yeah, totally.
Honestly, I'd go see that over Grease too.
If a play was called Grease 2?
Your nose was flare. You're like, what the fuck did you just say?
I'm so confused.
If I knew nothing, alien arriving on this planet, and someone was like, do you want to see Grease 2 or Cool Rider? I'm going to be like, sign me up for fucking Cool Rider. Grease 2? Wow.
The first thing you do when you come to is see a sequel.
Yeah.
To a movie fest.
Yes. Priorities.
Love it.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my god. I don't know why that struck me. So worth it. Holy fuck. I can't.
Yes. Points made though.
But like, yeah, if I just came to the planet and somebody was like, do you want to see
Hey newbie, do you want to go see a play?
Do you want to
You
see
pick.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3? I would be like, yes. Fuck yes. It's the best one. I wouldn't know that at the time, but I would.
You
be in
would
for a
know it
treat.
after.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I'm literally crying. Oh. Yeah, and then here's the other thing we didn't even talk about.
Yes, please.
So he's finally going to unveil himself, who he truly is, at the talent show for some reason.
Yeah.
And the T-Birds are like, oh, get him. And he bikes away. And so the T-Birds are after Michael, the Cool Rider on the bike, who they don't know as Michael just yet. And then the Pink Ladies and Stephanie are racing after them to catch up so that they don't kill Michael. And then Michael takes a huge jump, and everyone thinks that he jumped off like a cliff and died.
Dead man's curve. They even had like a little skull with bloody eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And instead of notifying anyone in case his body was cracked up beyond repair, they just go perform at the talent show.
They had 12 months to do.
They would all be accessories to that, would they not? They would all... That's a crime.
That's true. Because they were just like, it's not our fault he didn't stop. Like,
oh my god.
Yeah, but also, now that you bring that up, where the fuck was Michael?
I don't know. Like,
He
did he just...
showed up
Yeah.
at the graduation luau and jumped off a building, and they were like, oh, you're alive.
And
How did he... What happened?
Like, was there a week in between that? Like,
Yeah.
did he actually hurt himself? We never know.
Yeah, we really don't.
He's fine the next time we see him. And also, how are they just finding that out now when Michael isn't in class the next day?
Wouldn't you be like, huh, that's weird?
Yeah.
Unless, did Stephanie think he was older? Because when he was like, talent show Friday, and she was like, how did he know? Did she think he was like an older dude?
Right.
Ew.
That's weird. Like, why would somebody who is not a high school student care about the talent show that much? Yes. But at some point, you'd have to be like, where's Michael? This is sort of fishy.
Yeah.
And also, if that was the case, and they were worried about him, Frenchie knows that Michael is cool.
No, that's true.
And when they go to school and they're like, Cool Rider's dead.
Yeah,
she's
also
gonna be
Stephanie
like,
and Frenchie are
fuck?
best friends, right?
Supposedly. It's like,
Oh my god. None of it matters.
No. None of it
None
matters.
of it matters.
It's beautiful. This is a piece of art. Who's anyone to tell us that this is not art? So I guess that brings us to the end. Do you want to draw a card here?
Oh my god, I do.
Cool.
I'm painting my nails.
Also, I love that we have Goosebump books out here. What is the deal?
Oh, right. My daycare provider has like all of them.
What?
So if we do decide to do an episode, I might borrow them.
Yes. Let's do a Goosebumps book club episode.
Yeah. She also is the one that's like Grease 2 is far superior to Grease. And like has said this to me multiple times without any context or me bringing up Grease 2.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Hi, how was my son at daycare today?
Oh my god, he's a cool rider. And I go, oh, COOLRIDER?
So we're back to the Kitty Kahane Tarot. I don't know how we're doing this.
I don't either.
Very abstract shuffling method
why
that
not?
involves both of us. It is fun.
Do it.
All right. Wait, let's pull this one out. Oh, that one is already. Wait, That's also just an information
chilling.
card.
Oh, okay.
So we'll pull the information cards out of the deck. Great. Do you want to pick this time, or did I?
You.
All right. Let's. I'm feeling indecisive. What do you think?
Yes.
Cool. Is that the Emperor? You're looking that up, are you?
I am.
Gotta love having a deck in German. Or is it the Hierophant?
The Emperor.
Dope.
Good call. So the card can represent stability, security, and control.
Okay.
It can also mean that you are in charge of your life and have set up your own rules and boundaries.
That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Also relevant to the movie we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm. The card can symbolize masculine energy, authority, and structure.
I don't know. That's interesting. I can't really relate to that feeling at the moment, but maybe I'm just like missing where it connects. Does that mean anything for you right now? Anyone listening?
Okay, the Emperor suggests that you are adopting this fatherly role.
Okay.
Are you a papa? Providing for your family and protecting and defending your loved ones.
Oh, well, that's fair. I mean, times are tough, always. Like, in the last few years, so.
The last
Makes sense.
like, decade.
Yeah.
You may be the breadwinner or the rock for those who rely on your stability and security.
Okay. And what's that from? Where it's...
Biddy Tarot.
Oh, Biddy Tarot. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. I remember referencing Biddy a lot.
Similarly, the Emperor represents a powerful leader who demands respect and authority. Status, power, and recognition are essential to you, and you are most comfortable in a leadership role where you can command and direct others.
You're in a leadership role, aren't you?
Oh, kind of ish.
Yeah.
Ish.
I think for me, like, when I think about it, it's it may have more to do with like, what am I even fucking trying to say? It's so late. We'll wrap this up here in a second. I think for me, it's like, it's an Emperor energy is more of like being definitive in my choices.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I was struggling about whether or not I should email this person today.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, what if they think this? What if they think this? But at the end of the day, I was just like, no, I'm going to do it. I need to email this person this. I was like, because that's what I would do. And so I feel like that's a similar energy.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Claim your authority.
Claim it.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you. Oh, yeah. Ray's got some beautiful
God.
red nails right now.
Sure.
Well, thanks for listening to episode 21 of the podcast, and we'll see you at the next slumber party.
Okay, bye.
I said that so like nonchalantly. Thank you so much for listening.
You're just like, get the fuck out of here. Bye. Tell your mom to come pick you up.
Tell your mom to come pick you up.